Hi, my name is Shari Aldrich, and I'm the owner of Bodymechanics School. And today I wanted to interview one of our current students at our Vancouver campus. And this is Anton here. And so I just wanted to hear from Anton how school's going and kind of why he got into massage therapy. So, Anton, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to people who might be watching this?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Sherry. My name's Anton, and I got into massage kind of in a really roundabout fashion. It ends up just being a really, really good additional educational direction for me to go alongside with the kind of the movement and neuro programming work that I'm currently doing. And I work alongside a chiropractor at the moment who is utilizing aspects of my work. And he actually, as well, wants to pass down certain aspects of his work to me as he's looking to retire. He's in his late 80s. And I legally cannot do any of those things at all. But with the element of being able to actually have the license to touch, I will be able to continue to do some of his work, legally speaking, which has been the thing that he really, really pushed me to do. And he pushed me in enough to where I really started to consider it. And I asked a lot of my family and friends what they thought. They thought it was a great idea. And then I've always really wanted to have like a formal education too to go alongside with the years and years and years of study that I've done myself. And so it's just been a really, really great process, and I'm enjoying every minute of it in class.
Awesome. We're getting a little bit of a microphone. Yeah.
Oh, getting a little bit of microphone thing.
Yeah, it's okay. So I think we heard enough of
Okay.
what brought you here. So I'm curious why, because I know you did some research into massage schools, and what was it about body mechanics that stood out for you that joining our campus seemed like a good idea?
Uh, I think the thing that stood out the most was, I would say, some of the curriculum and some of the things that you guys teach. I saw that there was a good amount of open mindedness in regards to direction. I know you guys had talked about, some type of like energy healing, and talked about, a large aspect of like also like obviously the word body mechanics was attractive. I mean, the aspect of really taking a look at kinesiology and physiology and understanding why muscles are contracting the way they are contracting, just a way more detailed way of looking at the body in regards to movement,
Hmm.
which I haven't seen that when I had massage myself. I hadn't really heard that angle from the massage therapist. There wasn't didn't really seem like a lot of education on that side. And so I felt like, just to go with what I already do, that would be a great thing for me, just to kind of be more highly educated in that aspect. And also
Awesome.
just a lot of like the open-mindedness too, like seeing that you guys have a like there I think there was one program there that talked about like trauma and the neurological aspects of trauma and tissue and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, like they're looking at that type of stuff. They're open-minded to that type of stuff. Maybe there will be a way for at learn some things about that I don't already know. And
Mhm.
then also maybe there'd be some way for me to share some of the things that I'm working on in a similar vein. So
Yeah, it's
yeah, it just seemed like a
fantastic.
great fit.
Yeah, I think so. Often when I'm teaching and I have students that come in with a higher degree than I have, it's always fascinating for me to learn from them. And I think education is a two-way process. Like every time I teach a class, I learn an incredible amount of information from the students that come through the
Mm,
program. So
right.
I could, number one, I could see you having some incredible conversations with your instructors, especially like you talked about how trauma gets locked in the body. I myself, I'm fortunate that I knew that when I had my injury and I lost my finger,
Right.
and that I did some body mind work with a local master at psychology of the body and understanding how trauma gets locked in the brain so that didn't have long-term effects. But I think a lot of the people that we work with don't understand that. And a lot of therapists do tend to give kind of a basic massage, kind of just the standard routine to everybody that comes in the door.
Right.
So what you're saying is exactly, I think, how I want my school to be, in that every massage is different and it's unique and set up to the person who comes in and what their specific problems are.
Well, the way that I work is that I'm mapping basically your neural connectivity. of what muscles are connected to what muscles, not from a physical standpoint, but from a neurological standpoint.
Right.
And so being able to like see how there was like relationships between what I'm working on and then to what you guys are kind of talking about as well, I was like, oh, well, this is just a perfect fit, right? Because I know that my education isn't 100% complete because I never had formal education. So I know there's gaps for sure. And I was like, and I knew that. And I was like, well, this would be a great way to not only address those gaps, but also probably create relationships too, not just with the students, but professors and continue to learn. And I'm sure those professors will have individual, things that they've mastered and studied that I can possibly learn from. So it was just a win-win. It was just a huge win.
Fantastic. Oh, I love it. How are classes going for you so far?
They're great.
I mean, you've been
They're
in for a
fantastic.
little over a month, I think now.
Yeah, and so they've been great. They've
Yeah.
been great. Our instructors are fantastic. They're all experts in what they do. I've even done had like a received trade from Sarah,
Hmm.
which was, I mean, she's awesome. She's excellent. Just as good as I thought she would be. I've even scheduled some kind of trades with my work as
Hmm.
well with some of the other instructors. So it's great. Everyone's open minded. Everyone encourages discussion. Um, a lot of just information being passed around. A lot of open minded questions. Class sizes are not huge, so you don't feel like you're just a number.
Yeah.
All the things that I always wanted from like a kind of like a college education and just never received.
Ah, fantastic. And so kind of going through school in, COVID times, wearing a face mask, receiving, giving massages with the face
Right.
mask, has that felt like an inconvenient or awkward or
I mean, the face mask is awkward and inconvenient and lame, and no one likes them. But you know what? You do it because
yeah.
you have to, and that's fine. And you adapt like
Yeah.
anything else, right? I mean, like with what my work, I wear a face mask all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is,
One thing
it is, it is what it is.
for sure. I think one thing that's really interesting about your approach to school is you came into it from a different direction than most of our students come in.
Oh
Most
yeah,
students have not had any type of uh, body work experience at all, at
right,
all. So you came in with this knowledge, and now you're setting the foundation, which is different. Most come in,
right.
set the foundation, and then take leaps in different directions.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's been able to give me a really unique look at like what I'm seeing as far as under the hood, as far as like massage itself, right? Because I have a different lens from the way that I view my work. And so it's been really interesting. And then also because of the trauma in my own body, my own brain from the car accident that I was in, the first time I've been on the table
Hmm.
since I had a massage, 2 or 3 massage therapists back in my mid 20s that really hurt me,
Mm,
really hurt me.
yeah.
So I had a very negative uh, neurological association, and I could feel it with massage.
Oh
Like
wow.
oh yeah, the first time I got on the table as like one of the like just like the students, having the
Hmm.
instructor, I
Hmm.
had to like use all of my work to keep certain muscles from deactivating.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wow.
100%. So like I know that I have those neural biases in certain
Mhm.
areas. Soon you put pressure in one area, I could feel instantly things starting to turn off.
Okay.
But, after the first time and after obviously, breathing's a massive, massive part, of what I do as well. Just in order to control the fight or flight response, right? As well as, keep good breathing patterns are essential for abdominal function, diaphragm contraction. But I could really feel that, like, okay, like, interesting. Like, I have this whole different lens on this.
Mhm.
And so I've been able to talk about that in class with my professors and stuff. And they're just, so it's kind of like this really cool open environment where I get to chat about my experiences.
Yeah, and that's really fascinating that students that come into the class all have these different experiences that are real life situations that they're
Oh,
going to
absolutely.
encounter. And so, you having this response to a trauma that was in your body from a long time ago is really valuable for your classmates to help, well, to help further their education, but to help you overcome a little bit as well. Super interesting.
I've been super mindful of trying to make sure because they both well, it's a pretty small class for us particular, but I've
Hmm.
tried to really make sure that like when they ever work with someone that has anything similar to issues like I've had, they're super equipped
Hmm.
as far as knowing like how that person's brain is going to react to pressure, to touch, to certain things, how to watch, certain aspects of their breathing, certain things like that. Cues for me through my
Mhm.
work that I
Right.
see that
Right.
are not normal things that people look for,
Right.
right? Things that I picked up on. So yeah, it's just it's a fun environment. It's exactly like I said, what you would wish your learning environment.
Oh, I love to
And
hear that.
the instructors are the ones that are bringing that to life, though,
Yeah.
because if they don't handle it that way,
Mhm.
the class isn't structured that way
Wow.
at all.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have nothing but nice things to say and good things to say.
oh, that makes me so happy. What are your future career goals? Where's this?
My future career goals are to definitely blend a little bit of some of the techniques that I'm learning here with my work for
Mhm.
sure, because I'll be able to first of all to legally do them, right? Because right now I don't do any type of manipulation, I don't do any type of real palpation. I'm not checking into all those areas. I'm not doing any of that.
Mhm.
It's primarily education, with a small amount of cueing. So I look at being able to integrate a little bit in
Mhm.
certain cases. Like I had a client that had a stroke, and she had no ability to move her hand at all. And
Mhm.
through some neuro work, we were able to get some movement. But the thing is that would I really like to be able to feel into some of those muscles and work into
Mhm.
there? Yeah, absolutely. I would love to, but of course I can't.
Right.
So just being able to, continue to expand the boundaries of my own work is something. But in terms of
Mhm.
my career goals are to make the work that I'm doing known.
I love that.
When I mean known, I mean known in the capital, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, and I think you're creating a new branch, right? You're creating a new concept and a new business model. So it's extremely admirable in your goals. And yeah, I'm excited that we get to help you formulate this.
If I didn't have results, it would all be for nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
And my standard is I need 100% results 100% of the time, or else
Ooh, I like that. It's a good goal. Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I actually had a different vision of what I thought the body was a couple years ago, and I found I had like 20% of my clients that didn't respond positively or respond at all. They didn't respond negatively, didn't respond positively. I threw it away.
Mm,
Threw it away. Said I'm wrong. Restarted from scratch.
okay. Right.
I
Learning and
have
adapting.
very high standards for myself, and I have very high standards for just like this whole process. So like when I'm learning, attachments and marks and this stuff, it's all under the lens of like using all of this. It's all just
Mhm.
really fun for me. So it's a different world for me than just like education. My brain all the time.
You kind of cut out of that last sentence.
Oh,
All I
I
heard
said
was my brain all the time.
it's a different lens for me because like my work is in my brain all the time,
Got it.
and then adding all these extra educational components
Yeah.
as far as the little small gaps that I've had in my education
Yeah.
just continue to fill the gaps, and so it's
Yeah.
just great.
Are you sleeping at night?
I mean, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night with ideas, and it is what it is. But what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Generally speaking, I sleep well.
Yeah, well, I asked that because when I was going through school, I didn't sleep well because all the ideas that I had, with all the new information I was learning, it was so exciting that I just wanted to keep learning and keep going, to
I
get
think that's
to.
the sign of a creative person that's really passionate what they do.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and like if you have that type of passion and that passion happens to fuel your creativity,
Yeah.
then that's all the better for you, right? And I think
Mhm.
you're lucky if you get to study and learn stuff that lights like a fuse like that for you. You're
Yeah.
fortunate, you're lucky. And
Yes.
I'm so fortunate and lucky that I found something that I'm so passionate about.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear.
And I hope that for everybody. I wish that for everybody because I've been in the
Yes.
opposite
Yes.
where
Yeah.
I'm doing the thing I don't enjoy doing.
100% agree.
Learning the stuff I don't enjoy learning.
Yeah, I used to work with a lot of state workers,
Yeah.
and a lot of them were pretty miserable and hated their job. Kind of didn't really care for their coworkers, their boss, and it was sad for me that they chose to stay in a profession that didn't fulfill them, and waiting to live for another day instead of just choosing what they wanted to do to make themselves happy today.
Yeah, I'd say that the big thing is for me when you're asking people like, "Are you happy?" It's like, "Are you looking forward to the weekends because you're miserable on the
Yeah,
weekdays?"
yeah,
Then you should probably start trying to shift, make
Mhm.
a small shift that can create, a big change in time. Not
Absolutely.
overnight, just
Mhm.
a small shift.
Small
So
shift.
yeah, no, it's great. So because of that, I have a whole different look at this whole process, probably than maybe some people will. But
Mhm.
I would encourage them, if they're listening to this interview, to really find the passion in what they're doing. And if
Yeah.
that's helping people, then great. If that's educating yourself, that's great. If it's learning what's wrong with your own body, then great. But figure that out and let it fuel you.
Yeah, I can see that you're passionate about this, and I think it's gonna translate really well into, wherever your career takes you because your
Absolutely.
passion and people see that, they feel it, they can sense it, and they wanna be around and they wanna work with people who are passionate about what they're doing.
When you've been at the point where your body is like broken and you can barely walk, when you go from like a really good athlete, collegiate athlete, to
Yeah.
going to that point, you just have a completely different outlook. And so, like, I'm just so grateful every day.
Yeah.
You're just grateful for health.
Ah, I
The
love it.
crazy thing. And so, of course, that fuels part of your passion because you're
Mm.
like, well, I want to share that.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
wanna
and
make other
that's
people
like
feel
every instructor that I've met,
yeah.
everyone's like that.
Ah, so good. I love it. I am so excited. I'm so excited that you found us, Anton, and that you're contributing to just really a stellar experience for your classmates. And I'm really excited that our instructors are, meeting you where you are and helping you just keep blossoming because it's fun to watch.
Oh, thank you, Sherry. Thank you for setting up
Yeah.
such a wonderful program, and thank you for having instructors that are all like they're all very different, but they all have similar core goals and
Mm,
concepts that drive them, and you can tell. And it's obvious. So
fantastic. I'd like
greatly appreciated.
I'd like to catch up with you right before graduation, and 9 years
Yeah,
from now, and do a second interview. And
yeah, that would be great. I'd love that.
fantastic. Anton, thank you so much. I know you're really busy and you need to get back to helping people. So I appreciate your time
Thank you.
and have a fantastic day.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, take care.